You guys want to see a trick? Yeah, should I clap? Yeah. Welcome to Yes.
Should we do that again?
This video expresses our opinions, views, and experiences on subjects that are to be viewed at your discretion. We, by no means, delegitimize other approaches on this topic. Our video is simply there for sharing and entertainment purposes. We do not claim to be professional counselors.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Davi.
My name is Ricky.
I'm Marcelino.
And I'm Schmidt.
Welcome to
Yes, we need it.
Today, we're going to talk about
Coming out. You are strong.
and I am not afraid.
You are one of his strongest soldiers.
Don't be ashamed of who you are.
So, what do we want our caracola to be named?
I don't know. You can suggest a name for this little friend.
Comment below your favorite nickname.
You can give the power. I'm really sorry that she's not brown.
So the concept is that whoever holds this speaks the truth. We listen, we appreciate, and
Slap
then we talk, we slap it, we have to
feel it.
get intimate, and then you pass it along to a peer, so they talk.
If this disappears, I cannot guarantee you
Exactly.
where it will be found.
Shall I start?
You're holding the baton. The dildo.
The before. I think I never wanted to come out because I wanted to have a family, kids, and just because I wanted this, or I thought I wanted this, I didn't want to come out and admit of my homosexual tendencies.
I think it was really difficult because growing up, I had a very Christian valued house. Like, it was very religious, and you know, I grew up going to Sunday school and always constantly reading the Bible, and I learned every scripture in there, and my whole upbringing was just like, I knew something was different in me, and I felt just so wrong and so confused, and so, because I think I am smarter than one thinks, because I knew what was going on, but I just had all these fear of, will I ever be able to be strong enough to like accept who I am? Because no one around me, I felt, could understand me, you know. If I felt some pain or trouble, they would just go lean over and pray. And sometimes it does suit me because it's very like therapeutic in a way, but it wasn't enough to feel devoid of my pain. And this was like my childhood. And though I grew up in a house with so many siblings around, I never felt so alone.
Before coming out, I didn't see my life past 20.
With me it's different because I have never came out of the closet because I never felt that I needed. But as you all say, we didn't know. I mean, we didn't know what was going on with us, but maybe I didn't have someone there to look for, you know, like there was a lot, but not something like that I feel like I want to be this person or I want to be like that. Yeah, we need it. Yeah. So yeah, like now, I think we can talk about
During.
Yeah, but I think we can speak more about this before.
Yeah, of course.
Like how it was and how it's still, you know, I will not say messing with your brain, but there's still some little details that still chase you, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to talk about. I come from Colombia, you know, where like all the like many countries, I know everything is very normal. It's only that ocean, you know, you cannot be anything else. No, now because, you know, now we're living in these crazy times where everyone is expressing and speaking loud. That is great. But yeah, like in my family, I never have someone that explained me what was to be gay what was to, you know,
What it is.
if I want to wear my mom's dress, what that means.
Yeah.
And when I was young, I used to love that. I used to love to do that, you know, like I was alone to put my mom's makeup, my mom's bra, my mom's heels, all the dresses.
And it was all innocent, no? Like,
Yeah, but still there was like something
that you questioned already.
Yeah, but we didn't know because, you know, we were not mature enough to understand what is going on and what that means. And still, you know, it's a process for me. But yeah, I'm thankful because in my family I never felt like in danger. And I think that's something very important because it will be another history if I didn't have the mom that I have. And
shout out to Olga.
And I mean, I think that's one of the topics, you know, like being surrounded in a good environment. Yeah. It's not perfect, but
it's good.
But it's safe.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Yeah.
I think before, when I said that, I didn't want to sound so dramatic, but like to my eye, I never really saw myself after a certain age being the way I was, because I was either, it's not that I had self-harm thoughts, but I thought to myself, I'd rather be this or do that than come out or to let my parents or my family see me a certain way. And because also my family is super religious, very brought up in a very tight, specific way. So when I remember when I was a child, I used to, you know, hang out a lot with my cousins because we were all a year apart, and we would like play with costumes and just, you know, like stupid, silly things. And I remember one time that we were trying with makeup, and it wasn't even like girly makeup. It was just like maybe just put red all over your face and just pretend you are Spider-Man or that you are something, you know. And I remember one time that we did it without my mom, and it was just my cousin and I, and we were just playing, and I was like, yeah, it's fine, you know, like let's just do it, like let's just play with this, you know, like, and then we can do whatever. And then I remember my cousin went to tell my mom that I was playing with makeup, and she got so angry, so pissed, and she started to beat me up, and she took the lipstick and she started to draw all over my face and to do all these things. So I feel like in a way it did do something to me, and I never really talked about this, but now I feel like I should talk about it just because whoever is watching, you know, you never know who these things got to. And in my brain it messed something up, you know, it kind of did something like, this is wrong, therefore you should never do it. Like playing with makeup is something that you shouldn't allow yourself to be around even, you know. And so at a certain age, I told myself, okay, I'm never gonna come out, because I always knew, never gonna come out, just live your life, and when the moment comes, like, you just show up to your house, to your parents' house, with whoever your partner will be, and just be like, Mom, here's my invitation to my wedding. You decide if you come or not, you know, like.
Yeah.
So that was my thinking process since I was, I don't know, use of my knowledge. And then, but you know, also because I didn't know that I was going to leave home and that I was going to go into like a more artistic path. And of course things changed. And of course then I was kind of a little bit like David, like, why should I come out? It's something that it shouldn't be done. But I feel like the way I grew up in my family, they sort of need
needed,
coming out sort of thing, so that they would respect the boundaries that I needed, so that they would respect me and my choices, or like, oh, I need to, because even now, like, they question why I paint my nails, why I wear high heels, all these things. So I felt then at some point when I was in Hamburg then, like, okay, I need to come out to them, and not even for me, because I was like, I don't need that, but I think I'm doing it for them, because I feel like they need that affirmation. They need that to sort of see me and be like, okay, that's not everything about him, but we also have to like come to terms and just agree and whatever. So yeah, that's my before.
Yes,
we need it. Well, I was always very, anyway, I think an artistic child. Like I never played with superheroes or watched cartoons. I was always just, you give me some music, I will dance, even though I didn't go to actual dance school till I was 9 or 10, 11 years old. But my whole childhood, my play was always very artistic. I always would choreograph or watch dance concerts, dance videos or shows. And so for me, I felt like that's why within the family, it was in a way that, oh, he's just artistic, you know. And maybe they had thoughts already like, oh, he might be gay or whatever, but he's still young, you know. And I think that's why they never told me to like, don't do that too much, or because they could have, but they didn't do this. Like they didn't mind if I made my the Barbies of my sister do splits and do a dance move. But that said, I knew myself, because in Philippines it's very, being gay, though I feel it's very open and accepted because there's so many of that of LGBTQ community there, but it's still so culturally not accepted, because you can see in every movie or TV show, even if it's not Filipino, like internationally, we're always the joke of the story.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're always the gay best friend that the straight girl needs to have. And when are we the star? When are we the main role? And you know, so I grew up saying just like, is this gonna be me? I don't want this. Like, what is this? You know, there's so much questions because I didn't have anyone to look up to ask if it's okay to wear a pink shirt, if it's okay to say yes, or I don't know, so many things. And I think it really helped to be in the dance world, because that's when I finally saw more than one gay guy in a room and have the whole room be lit up and just smile and joke around. And that was the first time I ever felt like, maybe this is who I am, and I don't know what it will be like, but I can see there is a world that accepts it. Yep. And it's beautiful. And that was definitely for me the eye-opening moment, and made me feel like maybe I do want to be in the artistic world, because if that's the only way I feel safe, then I should stick to that. But should I pass to you? Yes.
Yes.
I didn't put yet.
Yes. Feels like a cold. I really don't know what to say. What to me was also very not important, but holding me back was this being teased that you're gay in a bad way. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of gay people went through this, and then you're like, I'm not gay, everyone's calling me this, but I'm not, look at me.
Yeah.
Just trying to prove something to yourself, because gay is such a negative term.
Yeah.
Used in such a negative way. And then eventually, you know, finding the light within yourself. That, yeah. And now I just love being gay. And I think a lot of people love us being gay too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
No, I think so.
Yeah. But I feel like now we as people are so much beyond sexuality that now we're flying in between other things as well.
Yeah.
And it's really nice to see how people are becoming more open-minded, also speaking about things like sexual health, because I'm pretty sure none of us learned in school what safe sex is, what safe sex can be and stuff.
Yeah.
But now these discussions and talks are just becoming normal, which it should be.
Yep. Yeah.
And I see hope that.
Yeah. I mean, starting now in certain countries that they even teach LGBTQ
history,
education, history, safe sex education, and you're just like, oh my god, if I had that in school.
Because I wanna add something, because with what you say now, it's like it's what I felt like. I never felt like that I have to say something to my parents or my family, because I always knew that they know that I was gay, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was more the struggle of the sexual feeling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, feeling attracted with other boys. people more older than me, and I didn't know how to deal with that, because there was no. And even my mom, she was the more supporting mom. She didn't know to. So that was my struggle. And now, of course, everything much different. But I think for me, that was my struggle. Like, how to deal with my sexual
awakening.
Yeah. And the curious thing is that I think we all feel that, like, when we are very young, and we just hide that and push until we have you know
exactly.
I would say that was my struggle.
I think because, as you said, like, your parents never told you, or you never told them, but I also feel like this education thing with the sexual life, I think it comes from the family. Like, I feel like the parents should be the ones allowing that safe space for their kids to be like, okay, look, this is a condom, like, this is how you do things. You're gonna start feeling this for boys, girls, whatever. Like, you're gonna have things that you don't know or you can't explain. And I feel like we should just put it out there that the education, yes, schools, whatever, but I feel like families is an important foundation of that.
I wish it would become more normal to have the sex ed talk within your family.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the times they really just, they don't even want it, they go around it, But it's so important, and I'm there like, somebody just say what I have to do, because I don't want to do my own homework here, because it's bad enough that you feel so alone, and then it's another thing when you're like, am I doing it right? Or
but at the end, it's also like, now that I look back, it's like I was rushing, and it's something that it comes with time. Learning, being in the right place, in the right moment, with the right people around you. But I was so worried about, like, okay, this has to happen now. And it's like choosing a career or like a profession.
Why did you feel like you have to rush? Or
it's not that I feel like I have to rush, but I was feeling something.
Looking,
like, you wanted answers right away, kind of.
And I was getting those answers back. I also since I was like 12, I was in this dancing world, surrounded with cool people with had knowledge. But I think it's like a personal world, and until you don't live those moments, like all the struggle, I think you have to live all that shit to understand yourself and why do you feel like that. And it's also like we say, like, I wish I have a family who told me everything when I was a kid, but if that happened, everything will be so different.
Awesome. I agree.
So it's also something like of waiting, like time is our best friend. And we just have to wait and see it. But of course, as I say, it's a mental illness, and we are the ones with power to deal with that, And I think that's the main thing here. Like, if we don't know how to think about that, how to express about that, what to say about that, is when we start to get depression, insecurities, changing our personality, the people we live. But it's something about time, I believe.
It's true. When I came out, it was about, I think I was already living in Hamburg for 4 years. So I did 2 years in school and 2 years in the company. And I just remember, like, I can't hide anymore. It's just too painful to go home and pretend I have a girlfriend and do all these lies. And you're just so sick of it. Like, so frustrated to be who you are not. And I know you have friends or sisters who's always there, but you just always feel like no one can understand what you're going through, because for as young as 3 years old, you're already hiding something from in your life, And then I get to Hamburg and I have the whole world in my hands. I felt so adult. Like now, like kind of like what you have, like this is my choice of getting my answers, dealing with my own questions, and I got it. I fell in love. I got in a relationship. All of this, all hidden to my family, and it was great because I learned. As much as I envied the people who, I never had a coming out story. Oh, everyone threw me a party, and it's so beautiful to hear this now. But I actually, if I look back, I wouldn't be the person I am today with all the strength and courage I developed through going through that fear and that pain and acceptance within myself.
No.
I think I needed that. So when I did come out, I wanted to prove like I can stand on my own 2 feet, which was my biggest accomplishment to my parents. They did all their best to raise me, but now I'm on my own. I get a salary, I pay taxes, I have a house. What else do I need? And I think that maybe took them hard because it's like, oh, our child doesn't need us anymore, and now he's gay. My dad was nice. I always felt we had a strange relationship because I always feared him that he would never accept me. So I always pushed him away. But when I came out, it was the other way around. He said he was never been so proud of me because what I did was the most courageous thing anyone has done. And I was just like, wow, this is beautiful. And my best friend, my mom, we're so much better now, let's just say. But when I came out, we didn't really speak for 2 years. Like a on and off 2 years kind of thing. I would go home and it will be silent on the table, and I know she didn't want that, but she was just so lost. Like, what happened to the Marcelino I raised? And I'm here like, it's still me. Being gay doesn't define anything, you know? And it was so crucial that I have really, really dark thoughts. And even though I had a boyfriend or something, it was just not enough because I feel no one has to go through such mental instability within yourself, you know? Alone, exactly. So, and I feel up to this day, I still get that kind of how do you say this? Trauma. Like real trauma that really haunts you.
Wait, Matthew. Break. We're over here, everything's dying. So in the moment.
Thank you.
Did it die? Do we need to maybe charge it or something?
So yes.
We need it.
We need it. But yeah, there's definitely trauma still up to this day. But if there's anything, I became stronger, and I then grew like knowing day by day what does life mean to me, and to look at it on the other side and just be like, you know, the glass is half full, and there is so much to be thankful for, and you know, I got to meet you guys and all of this, so it ain't all that bad. And yes, it was really a rocky road, that moment in my life, but I'm glad in a way that that's over. But you're still picking up the pieces. That's for sure. It won't leave you so easily.
The good thing is that you know what is going on.
Yes.
It's not like there is a different type of persons that they just try to run away. And we all run, like it's not that we're perfect, we all eat chocolates and eat our feelings, but I'm your friend and I think you know what is going on in your mind.
Yeah.
And it's too much, and but and that's what it's good, that you know what is going on your mind. And if you don't, get help.
No, exactly. I think it came to a point when you finally it just snaps and you're like, oh my god, you see everything 100% clear, and that's when you're like, okay, stop crying, come on, pick up your pieces and just keep walking.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. And I know so many kids out there are are dealing with these things, or have dealt with it, or are about to deal with these things, and it's good to remind them that it's going to be okay, and it's gonna pass.
It's going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
He gives you power.
Yes, it does get better.
How about you, Ricky?
Yeah, Ricky.
How was your coming
Mine?
This is my suicide part.
You're not alone anymore.
Yes.
For me, I think the great thing that happened that actually made me realize, like, it's... I wanted to add something because I feel like it was a big part of my before, in the middle, and after. And you mentioned already, like, the word gay comes with a negative approach most of times. But when I was actually... and this is what the greatest thing that happened to my life was to move to LA and to do my high school there, because it's a very different mentality. And that's when I learned that the word gay actually means happy. Literally, it means happy. And back in the 80s, the 60s, people would be like, hey, are you gay? Being like, are you happy? They meant that it was literally happy. Yeah. And I remember this so well because I was like, you can say, still in the closet. And I was in my literature class, and we had this book that was written by a Mexican lady. It was called The House on the Mango Street. It's awesome. You should read it. Mm-hmm. It's about racial issues and, being different. And it was written in the 60s, I think, if I'm not wrong. And one of the sentences, it said like something gay, something. And wow. it kind of like went to my eyes, and I was like, gay, like, what do you mean? And of course, and somebody asked. And at that time, I was in ESL classes. It means like English as second language. So it was like all the international students getting English levels. And so it was full of Chinese people, Europeans, so people that their first language wasn't English. And somebody, of course, had to ask, like, why is the word gay in this sentence? Like, what does it mean? And that's when I learned that the word gay actually means happy. It doesn't mean that being gay is that you prefer to love the same gender or whatever, Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there because in my personal life, I couldn't even bring myself to say the word gay. Like before I was like, you had maybe other words to something happen. Maybe you had other words to that turned off. And so when I was in the process of coming out or like knowing who I was, I could never make myself to say the word gay or homosexual. And I always, as you said, like I always hid who I was. And I even in LA, I would do things and I would ask people like, oh, please don't post this because I'm like...
It's true, I remember.
Hugging my friend. Even here in Hamburg, like we went out, I was like, oh guys, please don't post it. Like don't tag me, remember? I don't know.
I remember.
Like I would be like, guys, don't tag me because...
I used to do that a lot too. Like just don't... I don't want my family to see this,
it was exactly,
I just don't want them to question, like, did you go to a gay club, or, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a way of kind of putting a wall and denying it, and it wasn't, and at the time I didn't realize, but I was denying that side of me to myself, which was very harmful. And then it came to the point where I was like...
Enough is enough.
I don't really care, like...
Look at you now.
And especially because I always had this... I was raised in a way that I always have to portray the perfect image. Like I have to be the perfect Ricky. Like I have to be... everything like about my persona has to be perfect. My words have to be eloquent. Like the way I put myself and the way I invite people, the way I write, the way... everything had to be, in a way. And even my family members would be like, oh, don't do this because, you have people here that maybe look up to you and... they have a perspective of you, and it was this.
I get that because like I feel we, with us especially who live so far away, our family they always try to put in you the moral values that they incorporate since we were little, how to eat, how to put the plate, like we have this still, and though so many of those values I do agree and I do like that they educated me that way, but there's so much that when I go home now I feel like I'm just stuck in a box, because you go away from field to away from homes, miles and miles and miles away. And then you go to Hamburg with so many different cultures. We get to learn how Japanese people eat, how Chinese people react to this way, how people react when you just say the word sex. You know, not everyone is just gonna laugh. Like, there's so many cultural divisions.
Yep.
But then I was able to grow and be more considerate of others. And maybe it's not how my family would see it or would want to react to it, but at least I feel like I grew more than that because you were exposed to so much cultures, and I feel like I do understand you.
Yeah, no, and for so long it felt that I was controlled, and that and even sometimes now, like, I try to change myself a lot. Like, sometimes I catch myself being this kind of, and I call it OCD because it's my way of dealing with it, which I don't want to diagnose myself, definitely, but it's a way of me dealing with it and, like, kind of making fun of it. So it would be like, oh, and I'm like, wait, what are you doing? No, it's fine if this is like this, you know? And so when I came out, I was like, you know what? Being in LA, seeing all these artistic people and, like, different majors, you know, theater, dance, visual arts, it gave me a different perspective of not just me, Ricky, being a dancer from Mexico, but also, like, knowing David from Colombia, being a dancer, but he likes to paint.
The diversity.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because I was taught that there was only one thing, one way, and that had to be it. And as soon as I, like, stepped out of the door, I saw David, I saw Marcia, you know, I was like, wow, this German person, is like this, is like that. And then coming to Hamburg, it's just an example, you know. And then coming to Hamburg, it was when I was really enough, you know. If I don't need to write a long post about, like, okay, I'm gay, world know this, people in Mexico, you have to know this about myself, I like to I'm gonna do, no, I was just like, you know, I'm gonna do what I think is right. And if I want to post about homosexuality, about, like, gender issues or racial awareness, I'm just gonna do it. And if somebody has something negative to say, it's their problem, because I can't control it. And so that's when I felt that I was good, you know, me, and I'm gonna come out, like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna post photos with my boyfriend. If I go party, tag me, like, I want people to see that I'm, like, twerking in the
Next day she did drag.
Next
day she went full on drag.
No, I've never done, just to put it out there. But, you know, like, if you want to tag me, I'm gonna be dancing on the stage, you know, like, no shame, whatever.
No shame.
And that was the in-between process. And also, like, all the people that you meet in your path.
Gonna be tagging them.
And, like, you know, the people that you meet, you learn, they teach you, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like that was a good way, because that's the great thing that happened to me. Moving away. Sounds bad, but
actually, no, it's true.
I love my family. Just
no, it doesn't
take
away from them. It's just like,
to give
it's
perspective.
so beautiful to see what's out there. I feel like everyone should travel, because when you get out of the house, you really learn so much. Another language or something. You just already had such a different views in life, and that's life.
Who wanna slap it next?
So, are we now discussing?
You wanna?
Sorry.
Okay,
There are two people to go.
Oh yes, sorry, darling.
Dale.
So I never came out, and I don't feel I have to, but still there is pressure. Because I think my family needs, like, the confirmation.
Yes.
Are you or what? You know, what are you?
I'm
everything.
When you mean your family, because we met your mom,
Yeah.
and your mom seemed very, like, she even gave us advice about
Everything.
our own lives, everything.
Yeah.
So when you say that you need to come out, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, my mom.
Hold on. Sorry. This one's about to die.
So now I'm just gonna suck this.
You went to a little SMR moment.
We could. Chips. Cheers. It's like, I think 2 years after I came out, I went home and I was there for 6 weeks, no talking. And on the last week, from nowhere, she just went, "I'm sorry." And I was like,
Need process.
One clap.
So yeah, in my case, as I say, like I never felt like I have to say something. I have a very strong, beautiful supporter mother, and she also supports the community. If you wanna know, send marriage. But as I say, like it's Colombia. You know, we are very religious people, and I would say like my father, my aunts, my brothers, my sisters. You never know how they're gonna react to that. For me, they're a huge part of my life. So I never knew how to deal with that. So what I create is just like a running personality. So I'm just gonna hide, and I'm gonna be Davi with my friends, and there is another Davi with my family. Until I went out of Colombia. And I say, no, I can't hide, because you know, if I bought my beautiful dresses, I wanna wear them in Colombia. I don't care if I get killed. You know, I wanna be myself.
Yeah.
And it was the way, like, or you take it or you leave it, because I'm not gonna change for you. Thanks God, they are very supported, and for sure there is many things that they don't support. Maybe they don't like to see me wearing heels and wigs, but they know that I'm happy.
And you look hot.
And yeah, and you know, that's what it matters. You know, that you're happy, that you are a beautiful person, that you care about others, that, you know, there is nothing bad against you. I mean, we're not perfect, but I know that I'm doing good, and that I'm learning, and yeah, but I definitely create like
persona,
a barrier, and I think it builds my personality. I mean, it's I would say like 40% of who I am. This thing of like being out of things, but I'm there, but I'm just protecting myself, because I don't want anyone to mess with who I am.
But I feel like that's so relatable. Like, I feel like we all had to, in a way, do that.
And it's draining. It comes to the point where you're tired of being two people. Like,
it's so
like,
exhausting.
Bitch, no, I'm tired.
And then you tell, like, what did I say again last time? My girlfriend of 10 months? Like, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Is she Japanese, or I don't know.
Mama.
She's a model.
She's a model.
She's a Victoria's Secret model. I wear her panties too. Sorry.
I don't know. After year 3, I'm like, everything was kind of fine.
That's another perspective. That's another...
But wait, weren't you not in Jamaica?
So, I mean, there are two factors. There's my family, and then there's where I grew up. So as I was living in Jamaica, one of the most homophobic countries, and my he is quite open homosexual, and one day they broke into his house and they stabbed him. So they just stabbed. They didn't kill him, thank God, but they stabbed him. And then when I came out to my mom, then she got this fear of like,
of course,
my son is going to be stabbed. And then she was more precautious than I was. Well, I mean, thank God she was. Not that anything happened or would have happened, or so it like, through the environment of Jamaica, I couldn't be. I still was, because I was a foreigner, so it's like, oh yeah, you know, he's just European, so that's fine. But there was still this like, boom. And then when I came here, I didn't want to be gay, so I wasn't gay for quite a while. And now I want to be more than gay.
What do you mean that more than gay?
I don't know. You know, like an angel. No, but I'm done. I'm done with you.
After. Well, I feel it really doesn't matter now.
Well, sorry for stopping you, but I think we have to put like that. We have to say that we also have to have in mind like the times that we live in, all the things that are happening right now, all the changes, you know, climate change, Black Lives Matter. It's a lot of us that it's changing the way that you see things.
Yeah.
And because we're not working, we have time to think about them. And
there is a lot of things that we don't have time to say now, but that, I mean, the present now, who we're gonna be next, is affected for all the things that are happening now, I believe.
Yes, yes, for sure.
I mean, we were talking a lot about family surroundings, and now it's bigger.
Yeah, and I feel also sorry, Masi, to stop you again. It's like families sometimes they're not scary about their gay sons. It's just because they don't know. They don't have the knowledge, or they're too scared about what others think, what others say.
Yeah.
Because at the end, when you came out, it's like, we love you, but give us time to understand who you are.
I was gonna get there for the. No.
And that's something that is happening now, I believe, with all the social media, all the extra information that we get now.
Just like already, I feel like media really does a lot because. As I was saying, you know, you grow up having this character of gays in movies where they're always like the second thing, the funny, the joke of the thing. And now we have movies where it's about them. You know, we have beautiful movies, TV shows that they highlight the world. They highlight what it really is, the essence, and or just love stories that finally, you know, like something that should have been done already.
Yes.
And this always helps because I feel like, you know, when it came up, my family, the ones who took it hard, it's just, I guess as you said, they just need to get educated. Yeah. They're not mean people. They're just, it breaks their heart at first because it's like, oh, all these dreams and visions they have of you as a little kid, it's just not going to happen.
But it was their dream.
But it was their dream. And that was the point. Like any good parent would know that at the end of the day, it's about the child's happiness. Yeah. And I think that's what happened because in the end I was like, wait, look, I still became the dancer that you actually also want, but it's also my dream, and I'm a good person. I don't kill. There's just so much like being gay is really just one thing that doesn't make me a bad person, and they just had to get educated. I mean, because when I came out, the first question that my mom asked me was actually, so are you just gonna grow your hair now and start wearing dresses and makeup? And I'm like, that's just a part of it. That's just a part of it. I was like, only on Saturdays. No. But it was just such a shock because I was like, oh my God, like though she has gay friends, like that's still your first question. And I was frustrated too, but I have to be patient. I have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she just has to get educated. Yeah. So when she came to visit Hamburg and she saw Pascal, all my friends, and she was just like, they are the most genuine, nice people you could ever meet. Oh my God, and I'm like, yes, and we need it, and it's really, that's what I feel like with the future. It's just get educated, have an open mind always. Because we will, even for myself, there are things when you hear at first, you get, I don't think I could ever get this, but who am I to say that's wrong?
I will say education because we can all have an open mind.
Yeah.
But even if you don't like your gay son, the community, all the new things that we have now, we still need to have respect for that.
Yeah.
And that's something essential, like you have to respect whoever is in front of you. If it's black, white, brown, whatever, it's a human person, a human being, and it needs respect.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah, I mean, like in 2020 alone, we were so blessed with so much movements that happened, like even before 2020 with the hashtag #MeToo movement and all of these things that happened. And it's crazy because even in the midst of a global pandemic, all these strong acts of community and it's so empowering because there's no excuse now. When you literally have time to go to your house and just read an article, ask a friend, talk about it, talk the the uncomfortable talks, you know, and that's how we move forward. And that's what I love when you meet people, and maybe though they're very like cold at first, and then they leave the room knowing more than what they did. I feel like that's what our duty now is, to always talk.
Yeah.
And now tell us about what is coming for you.
What's coming?
Who's
What's coming? Who's coming? Sorry. On Monday it's on Tuesday. Wait, what's coming? Well, definitely. I am such a. I wouldn't say like I'm a very strong charactered person, and I'm very. I always have a curious mindset. So I think for the future I will always try to like keep growing and keep myself not in just this one rule book, you know, and I just try to be like, because like what you said, you know, we were raised like this and this and this, and all everyone is to just be who I am, but who is me anyway? And when, even though I'm already this close to figuring what that means, something can happen and it's already another rule, and then you're just like, oh my god, and it's great. I think I should always keep growing, because there's always spaces to grow and learn, and
I totally
evolve.
have to. Can I add to that?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Rule book and growing. I wish I could one day walk down the street in a dress and heels, just like living my best life
Without people looking
oh
at
my
you.
god.
No, I don't mind people looking, but because I mean, obviously, hello, I'm angelic. But just the fact that I don't give two fucks about it. Like, I would love to do it, and we do it together, but I would love to just do a whole solo 4 acts
without the fear of.
without the fear, and just with the comfort of myself.
It's true. Don't you find it so frustrating at times when you just want to wear this elaborate dress or something, and just, I don't know, go to the supermarket, but then you fear like, oh my goodness, this might be the end of my days.
I mean, I get stared at here no matter what I wear, because I'm angelic. But being in, you know, having that extra layer of goddess on top of it is just...
It's a different mood.
We need it.
We need it.
Yeah.
I want to add something to what you said before, that it was like the stigma, stereotype, prejudice of being gay, of like, oh, my teacher was stabbed because he was gay, therefore now my mom fears that I'm going to be stabbed because I'm gay. It was kind of the same for me. Before, it was like, oh, we had an uncle that died, I don't want to say AIDS, but it was something along those lines, but he was gay. So when I had that talk with my mom, it was like, but I don't want you to die from AIDS. And I was like, what? Like,
I mean, the truth with AIDS is it was a death sentence.
It was. But it's not like, you're gay, therefore you're going to die of AIDS. And you have AIDS because you're gay. So...
But even like the numbers of HIV and AIDS victims, they're all from different communities. It's not just homosexuality.
Exactly. And it wasn't actually initially by a homosexual. It was by a straight man who had sex with a chimpanzee. Yeah. That's how HIV started. HIV.
Thank you for the Hirsch story.
But so now, like, after my coming out, after everything, you know, embracing a little bit more who I am, and, you know, like, I'm not saying I'm there, but, like, I'll get there. But throughout this journey, of course, I have people being like, oh, I love what you're doing. Like, I love what you, the House of Brownies, have. I love that you guys are advocating for this so much. And, like, they sometimes say, like, we need this. Like, we need things that are relevant now, even when creating art or creating choreographies or, like, whatever. Like, it's great that we create something, and it's, wow, it's beautiful. The dancing, the painting, the music, the la. But when you actually target something that is relevant and that is to nowadays, like, you know, talking about the environment or like talking about Black people, the queer people, you know, it's different. And after my coming out and everything, I've had people that are like, this is great. And then I realized that, like, I could have been who I am
You
years
could have
ago.
been great.
Without being without
Yeah.
being ashamed or being embarrassed or without being like, you know, if people see me in a way, they're gonna be like, oh, you know, like he's gay. Which also brings me to the other point that maybe you guys don't agree with it, but this is just how I think, that being gay is not all what we are. Like, it's not like
It's not
when we
everything.
think of David or we talk about David, it's like, oh yeah, he's this homosexual Colombian, you know, like, it's not like that, you know, it's
Yeah.
like somebody who's smart, creative, super talented, unique body, muscles, plasticity, you know, like, I feel like the gayness of us maybe is the last thing, you know, because you're smart, you're this, so like, and maybe we love to be gay and we love to put it out there and we love to like
I
be
feel like-
loud about
yeah.
it, but it's not just who we are. It's not just like this for homosexuals that happen to be brown and just, you know? But I don't know if that's just how I see it.
But always remember that is the part of you that needs more affirmation, I would say, confirmation.
No, of course, but what I'm saying is not that, because of course I embrace it, but it's not also that, oh, it's just the homosexual Mexican, you know, it's, there's so much more to us, there's so much more brain, so much more
Yeah, because
creativity.
at the end,
like,
you are Ricky. You know, we are all these individuals.
yeah.
We are.
So far.
Sorry, I was eating chips this time. Like, we are all definitely individuals, and each human being has so much to offer in this world. And yeah, being gay is definitely just one color out of the many colors. And I think, right, education is so important, and I really wish in the future that it will be so well given throughout in the household, in schools, you know, because then there won't be bullying. There, you know, like that will just be the dream, really.
Yeah.
And I think it is slowly happening, slowly, but it's better than nothing, you know. And if you look back, it's only how many years since Stonewall, and and if you think,
I'm just guessing. It's
No,
like
no.
yesterday. No, I'm
no,
kidding.
but it's not that long ago.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
again, how far we've come to, like, you can get shot from just holding a man's hand, to like, we're walking in high heels in Hamburg Central Station, and people will take photos. It's like we've come a long way.
I want to add.
So
2 days ago, just to put it something that, you know, like how far we've come. My boyfriend texted me 2 days ago,
it's not this one.
and and he was like, I just saw the cutest 13-year-old gay couple walking on the street holding hands.
That is
And
just
he sent me like happy emojis and like hearts, and I was like, that is so great, you know, like being 13 years old, holding your boyfriend's hand
in public.
on the street, you know, like openly, without worries, just like walking along the grass, whatever. It's great. Like, I don't think any of us could have done that at 13.
No, I was hiding. I was hiding in the school
So for the coming,
closet locker.
The idea.
what's coming?
What's coming? What happened after?
So I think, as Marcy says, like, I believe in education. That it should be something more present in every individual life. Yeah, as Pascal says, I wish like I can go every day out of my place wearing heels, wigs, big earrings, you know, and no one look at me like who's the weirdo. But still, I love when people look at me like look at that weirdo, you know, because I embrace who I am.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I just made, you know, the weird face, like, you know, like, yes, I'm crazy.
Don't come
But
here.
I will say, like, education, and I will say to people, like, don't be jealous, you know, like, you should take those people that you see in the streets. It's not even the gay community, it's the trans, the queer, the beautiful black people wearing his beautiful hair braids, you know, that people sees that and it's like, it's culture, you know, like you should embrace it and don't appropriate cultures, but on your thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I believe that, you know, like, just be yourself, do whatever you want to do, knowing that you have to respect others' boundaries, and yeah, just spread love, and I just
Mind your
hope like
own.
that is coming in the
Yeah.
future. Like it's, I don't know. I think we walking like a turtle, like very slow,
Yeah.
but the process is, the
It's
thing
you're
is
still
coming,
going there.
it's still going.
Yeah.
And for example, with the Black Lives Matter movement, like last year, if we look back, it's like it hasn't changed so much, and it's the same in our community.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like some makeup in the.
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean. Like it's definitely started something, but
Yeah.
we shouldn't stop just from like attending
Yeah.
a protest.
Yeah.
We have to start from literally every day. If someone made a snarky comment, you get that person and you sit them down and you're just like, that was not right. And it's okay, because what's wrong? We can always agree to disagree, and
Yeah.
I think that's something we all have to do in our own ways, even if it's so exhausting at times.
Yeah. So I will say that for the people there watching, and for myself, I don't know, because I'm still like a butterfly in a cocoon. I don't know what is going on, because as I say, I never felt the pressure to say who I am, and there's still like a big question mark.
Yeah.
Who's that bitch? And it's
Definitely.
amazing, and it's crazy, and it's excited
Yeah.
to know who I'm gonna become in 10 or 5, 20 years.
I feel. Can I just add something
Yeah.
to that? I feel like even just amongst ourselves, since we first met to now, even our style changed, but that's because style always keeps changing. But like, I feel like our essence and authenticity definitely grew to something that we don't even know what it really means. But if you look fierce in a dress, if you look fierce in that's all that matters. And I think that's where our path is now. Like we don't have to define and explain word per word our selves, who we are. But I think it's so beautiful, because like you're still surprised sometimes at yourself, no?
Yeah,
like I get
totally.
surprised
Every
too,
day.
like,
every
and-
morning.
Yeah.
Who's that bitch?
I wanna ask you something. Like, what is your advice for people that are struggling right now with some mental problem? I mean, I don't say not mental, but like with some inner struggle.
Within
What I'm-
acceptance.
Yes. What you will say to them?
Why are you looking at me?
Well, this first. I mean, sorry. I'm gonna say every
advice.
episode.
Yeah, you little piece of shite. When you are in an emotional unbalance, people make a lot of irrational and quick decisions, which can hurt yourself more than the people around you. And I think it's good when you're in there and you can identify that you're about to go shit crazy. Take a step back, have a drink. Don't just try to calm yourself down. Have a drink of water. Calm yourself down and just think, if you had a child, what would you tell them?
Yeah.
Because there's always people often feel alone, like y'all did.
Well,
And the truth is that there's so many people that feel exactly like how you are feeling, I guess, at this point. And just to, even though you might not have them in your friends, just to remember that you're not alone.
Yeah.
That's so kitschy, but
I
it's so
know.
true.
Yeah.
Because look, we're here together. We
Yeah.
all experience very, very similar things, and knowing that there is someone, when you go outside, look at the fucking moon, and be like, at this moment, there's someone who feels the same thing I'm feeling,
Who's also looking at the moon.
who's also looking at the moon.
Yeah.
This kind of thing.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, I want to start also with I know it's easier said because we all felt that, like we were alone, but you have to have faith that you aren't, and you should have the courage to, even if you have straight friends or people that you really don't think they can understand you, but if they love you, no matter what they are, I feel like they will try to hear you out. And I feel like if I were to go back, I wish I just cried on my friend's shoulder more openly, even though maybe he or she would have given the worst advice, but just to have company is already something. Because when you're all alone in your thoughts, it's too heavy. It's too heavy of a baggage, and you don't need that anymore. Not alone, I'll be here. You know, my mom said I had a hidden talent in singing. It should remain hidden. To wrap up, my advice is definitely it's so easy now to just search things online. So educate yourself when you feel, because that's the thing that we didn't live in a smartphone time. like now it's so like to dial up internet. Back in the day, it takes 3 hours to connect and send one email. Yeah. So now it's really as easy of one press of a button, and you can get all the info that you can find out. So that's something. Get yourself educated. Know the community. Maybe you can go to a talk. How do you say this? This
panel talks where you really feel like, though you're incognito at least, but at least you know there's so much out there who is dealing the same things as you, and I feel that's very important to reach out, because maybe you don't want to say it to your family, but at least you have that knowledge of like, okay, this is what my life can be, and what do I do now? Yep. So I think that's a good.
I think I just want to say that if you are a person that is feeling overwhelmed or under pressure or just feeling alone mostly, it's okay to feel alone. And I feel like we all felt that at some point. But I think it's important to know a feeling, to internalize it, to be able to feel it, but to not become it. And I know it's easier said than done, but then maybe if you ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? Then maybe it would open a new path of like, okay, maybe it's because this, or just question everything in your life and question the why and the who's and the when, and it will be a different story. And especially if you are a person that happened to be labeled as a male, it's okay to feel sad, and it's okay to cry, and it's okay to ask for help. Not because society told you to be a male doesn't mean that you're not able to cry and to ask for help. So just know that it's okay, it's fine, feel it, like be sad. You're human. As David said, we're not perfect. We're on the way to become who we are. Just embrace it, cry, punch a bag, break glasses, and this is advice that he gave me. break glasses, do whatever you need. Be angry, feel the emotion, but don't become it. And ask yourself,
but you break yourself,
why?
Not the roommate. No?
Yes, you yourself break your glasses, not your roommate. And then ask yourself all these questions and question yourself. Yeah. That's
feel it. Yeah.
I mean, you almost say everything. I just want to add, like, if you're sad, if you're feeling any type of emotion, it's fine. Leave it. Breathe. Use music as a therapy.
Nice. It's true.
Go out, have a walk. Use your friends. If you're alone, if you feel that you're not good, ask for help. You're the one that has to choose to search for help, Yeah. No one is there to care about you. You're the one that has to take care of you. So you have to do it no matter what. And be happy. And if they don't pay your bills, pay those bitches, not mine, okay?
Exactly. Preach to that.
And respect and be happy. And love, lots of love.
Respect others and respect yourself.
Love yourself.
Love it. Amen.
Cheers to that.
That's all. Cheers to that.
Cheers. Love it.
Because yes,
we need it.
As like a conclusion to finish the sentence, I have never felt
Okay, I'm gonna start, but it's very deep. It's not happy. It's not.
No filter.
I have never felt who I am. Because I think I'm like a, I don't know, something like a pen with not ending hole.
Wait, a what?
A pen. So it's like the rabbit hat. Every time I put my hand there, it's something new. Something new coming out.
Versatile.
Something new.
Why am I picturing something under my head? Because that dildo.
So yeah, I have never felt who I really
truly
am, who I truly am. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's scary, and at the same time, exciting because it could be bad, it could be good. Who knows? But yeah.
Yeah.
I've never felt safe. And not talking just about walking on the street. Just in general. I've never felt that I can even sit on my couch and be comfortable and just felt safe, or I don't know if that makes sense. I guess in my head it makes sense, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Do you have one? You do?
Not really. Do you?
I think so, but I have to explain this well, though, because
So in a
I get
paragraph.
confused. Yeah, not in a paragraph.
So do I now.
So now or never.
I've never felt completely satisfied with myself. And not saying like I was never happy or things like there were obviously happy days and things like that, but I feel like I was just never, because you try every day, you wake up and you always want to do better than the day before, and I don't know if it's a negative or a good thing. Or maybe it's a bit of a both, but that's what I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, can I just relax now and just be satisfied with everything, or should I try and fight for more? Like, and so it's a bit of a mix for me. Like,
Why do you keep putting it close to my
It's
face?
difficult, that one.
it's difficult, you know.
Because it's good at the same time.
At the same time, it's like so that's what I mean. But that's what I've never felt. Satisfaction.
Time.
That's a different game.
It's in process. I have never felt comfortable naked.
Oh.
It might
Sorry,
be
I didn't-
gender dysphoria. It might just be because I have a bit of a dad bod. It might be because of insecurities. It might be because of society. It might be because of toxic masculinity.
Mental state.
Or so many factors. But like this, you see a naked being and you're just like
Raw and sorry.
Stay tuned for the next video.
It's the naked.
That's our news.
The body dysmorphia.
Our next episode is body.
Yes.
Body
Naked
dysmorphia.
truth.
All right.
Bam.
So you can just.
You don't have to close your eyes.
Okay.
But I will. And you at home can too. Okay. So, I'm just going to set the scene. We're standing in front of the mirror. And we're looking at ourselves. And we're about to say a sentence that we mean from the bottom of our hearts. And that we wish to emulate and to become. And I would say to myself, I am not ashamed of experimenting and researching what I truly want to become, and I am not afraid.
You see yourself in the mirror, and you just say until you believe that, because this is true, that you are stronger than what you're made of. Beautiful in the most essence of this word, because you are beautiful and you are unique, and that's great, because there is literally no one like you in this world, and that's something to be grateful for.
You always believed in God, and God gives the toughest battles to the strongest soldiers. and you are one of his strongest soldiers. Therefore, your strength cannot be measured with actions nor words. So you just go out there and do your thing and win the battle.
So I'm there, on my toilet, dancing. And I believe in duality. No gender, no stereotypes, anything. And I will say to myself, life is short. It doesn't matter all the things that are happening now. Maybe you will be dead tomorrow. So be happy. Enjoy your friends, your family, your boyfriend, your cats, your plate of, your dinner, the essential things, even having a shed, Enjoy every second of your life and don't be ashamed of who you are. They will love you because who you are. And yeah, keep dancing.
I like that. Keep dancing.
I love that.
The drama, yo! Dramatic.
Prostata! Yes! We need it! XOXO! House of Brownies! Kisses from afar! Kisses from afar!
That was good, bitch.
Yeah, bitch. That's
Empty.
Oh. We really need to get that together.